therapeutics.com.
If you're feeling down in the dumps, tired of your health holding you back, look no further than Fire Your MD Now with Dr. Glidden, the radio show that strives to get you in optimal health. Look out, Big Pharma. Someone is looking for the knockout punch. Here's Dr. Glidden.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Glidden here. Welcome to Fire Your MD Now. Give us a call, 866-582-9933. That's toll free. 866-582-9933. Just got back from a wonderful lecture last night in Indianapolis. Talked to about 90 people. We started at 7 o'clock. We ended at 11 o'clock. That's how much people want to know this information. The formal lecture was over by 9:30. People stayed until 11 o'clock because they had so many questions and so much interest. Why? Because everybody in this country is sick. Why is everybody in this country sick? Because everybody brings their bodies to MDs when they're sick. Why do people bring their bodies to MDs when they're sick? Because MDs monopolize the medical theater here in the United States, and they have for the last 100 years. The only medicine practiced in your hospital is MD-directed medicine. The only medicine your insurance pays for is MD-directed medicine. The only medicine you know anything about is MD-directed medicine. And the MDs have gone out of their way for the last 100 years to put my colleagues, the osteopaths, the homeopaths, the herbalists, the acupuncturists, the traditional Chinese medical doctors in jail to slander us and to defame us publicly and privately. They have cornered the market on medicine since the Flexner Report in 1910. And since the Flexner Report in 1910, we have not had a free medical market in the United States. So when anybody gets sick, they go to the only game in town, which is allopathic medicine directed by MDs. Only problem with that is allopathic medicine, which is what MDs are trained in, only works for acute illness and trauma. You got a bullet in your arm, you got a third-degree burn, you broke your leg skiing, whatever, got your foot blown off in Iraq, heaven forbid, the MDs can fix that. They're good at that. Handful of infectious diseases, things like infectious pneumonia. They can fix that most of the time. But for most of the conditions that most of us go to the doctor for, things like high blood pressure, asthma, arthritis, osteoporosis, depression, insomnia, heartburn, the MD has nothing for us. And while we have let the MDs direct our health care, while we have given the MDs our trust, our time, and our money, heart disease has remained unchanged. The rates of heart disease have remained unchanged. After $25 billion of statin drugs, fat-free diets, and exercise, just as many people get heart disease now as they ever did. Arthritis rates are going up. Obesity is going up and up. In the pediatric population, obesity has tripled in the last 20 years. 33% of American adults are obese. 300,000 people a year die from obesity-related illnesses. Alzheimer's has risen from obscurity to the sixth leading cause of death, and autism has risen from 1 out of 10,000 to 1 out of 88. All while the MDs have been driving the bus of medicine, and yet we continue to go to them when we are sick because we don't know there's another way. People are so hungry for this information. People are so thirsty for this information that they'll stay at a lecture for 5 hours. By the way, there was no AC in the room. The AC broke down. We were all sweating bullets, but everybody stayed because it was more important for them to soak this information up than to, sweat a little bit in public. It was really a wonderful evening. Hats off to Rich Stocks and the entire crew down there in the Indianapolis area that put this together. A free lecture, by the way, free lecture. Between myself and Dr. Wallach, we give about 350 of these free lectures a year, and they're free, right? You know any other physicians with over 20 years of clinical experience giving free lectures about anything? For physicians that don't work for drug companies? No, nobody does that. Dr. Wallach and I do because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to change the way that medicine is practiced in the United States. We are on a mission to fulfill the oaths that we took when we graduated from naturopathic medical school and became licensed to practice naturopathic medicine. One of the oaths was to educate people about health, and that's exactly what we do as much as we can, as frequently as we can, as often as we can. Towards that end, tonight, on my website, I'm giving a live webinar. It's called An Introduction to Longevity, which gives you a little bit of the history of the Longevity Company, a little bit of Dr. Wallach's background, a little bit of the background of where these therapeutics came from and the types of conditions that they have been proven to be effective in helping people to get on the other side of in the last 50 years. Tonight, once a month, I give free access to anybody in the listening audience here to the webinar. And you can gain free access to tonight's webinar, which starts at 8 o'clock Central Time, simply by going to my website, fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. And right there on the front page, you will see a link to the webinar. Just click on the link, log in as a guest, enter as a guest, type your name into the little box and where you're listening from, and we're going to rock and roll. I expect to have over 100 people in tonight's webinar. We have people from all over the world in these webinars. I do an Introduction to Longevity webinar on Tuesday nights, and then I do a health subject webinar on Wednesday nights. Now, normally, to gain access to these webinars, you have to own a subscription. You have to be a subscription holder at my website. But once a month, the Introduction to Longevity webinars are free to anybody in the Genesis Communication Network listening audience, and tonight's the night. So check it out. 8 o'clock Central Time tonight. Just log in to fireyourmdnow.com and get informed. Now, yesterday, we started talking a conversation about minerals. And this was in the greater context of a stepwise plan, kind of outlining for the listening audience the simple solution to health recovery. And the simple solution to health recovery is breathtakingly simple. It is elegant in its simplicity. Basically, there are three things that we need to do in order to secure our health. Number one, we need to feed the body the raw materials that it needs, the vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids. These are collectively referred to as the 90 essential nutrients. Number two, well, in addition to number one, the 90 essential nutrients, we need to provide the body with enough antioxidants to maintain its health and secure its longevity. Number two, we need to identify and eliminate foods that are deleterious to the body. We need to stop eating bad foods. We have identified 10 foods as bad for you. And the third thing, we need to ensure that the body's waste elimination systems are working correctly. When you do all three of these things, the body fixes itself most of the time. Why? Because it knows how to and it wants to. So we started talking yesterday about minerals. I'd like to finish this up because it's an extremely important subject. Minerals are 2/3 of your body's nutrient needs. There is not one enzymatic process inside of the body that does not demand a mineral. Minerals are necessary for virtually every single metabolic process that happens in the human body. When you become deficient in minerals, many things start to break down, many things start to underfunction. And when you have become minerally deficient for a long enough period, things actually start to break down. Joints are a perfect example. We have identified through $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries and histopathologies, over 278 illnesses related to not enough calcium and not enough magnesium. Now, calcium and magnesium are two of the 60 minerals that the human body needs to stay healthy. There are 58 others. Now, if not enough calcium and magnesium can generate 278 illnesses, well, guess what? Not enough of the other 58 minerals can do. You'll get sick and you'll die, which is why two-time Nobel Prize winner Linus Pauling was quoted as saying, everybody that dies from a mineral deficiency disease, unless you're shot to death, from a bullet. Right? That's different. If you die from a chronic disease, you die from a mineral deficiency. When you burn somebody's body, when you cremate a dead body, the ash is minerals. That's what's left. It's minerals. It's a big deal. Now, the problem that we have here in this country is that everybody is minerally deficient because nobody is taking minerals, and everybody expects to get their minerals from the food, but it's a fool's errand because plants can't make minerals and animals can't make minerals. If the minerals are not in the soil that the corn or the broccoli or the squash or the grass that the cow is eating, if the minerals aren't in that soil that the plants are grown in, there aren't going to be any minerals in that plant. There aren't going to be any minerals in the animal that eats that plant, and so forth and so on. And when you eat those vegetables or those meats, there aren't going to be any minerals in you either. So it is really only a matter of time before your body reaches a state of mineral deficiency, and then things start to break down. You bring your body to an MD. The MD has no training in medical nutrition, doesn't even know how to spell mineral, for goodness sake. And they throw a drug at the problem, and this is why we get sick and die, because you cannot treat a nutrient deficiency disease with a drug. Well, you can, but you can't successfully help someone to recover from a nutrient deficiency disease with a drug. Now, interestingly enough, before the electrical revolution, everybody in this country heated and cooked with wood. Now, when you heat and cook with wood, you have one byproduct of the cooking. The byproduct of the cooking is wood ash. And wood ash is 90-something%. It's over 95% minerals. That's what the ash left over when you burn the wood. It's minerals. But it's not just minerals, it's plant-derived minerals, because when a plant sucks calcium or magnesium or selenium or zinc out of the ground, as the plant metabolizes it, the electronic charge of the mineral becomes changed, and the mineral becomes classified more appropriately as a colloid. The structure and the size and the electrical charge of the mineral becomes greatly enhanced and changed. Plant-derived minerals are fantastic food for the human body. You know, if you dug up a bunch of calcium from the dirt, purified it, and swallowed it, or you stuck a piece of broccoli in that dirt and let the broccoli absorb the calcium, you would get 1,000 times more bang from the calcium that's in the broccoli than from the calcium that you dug up from the dirt. Well, which leads to one of life's greatest ironies, that before the electrical revolution, people in this country were way more mineralized than they are now, because guess what we were doing back in the day? Putting wood ash in the food. Culinary ash. There was a whole industry about that. But when, the Edison came along and the electrical revolution started, everybody threw out their wood stoves. They also threw out the wood ash, and hence the degeneration of American health. Can you believe it? Stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back with your calls.
Despite what medical experts tell you, it's just not possible to get all the nutrients your body needs from food. Minerals are essential for good health, but not all soils contain these nutrients, so they won't be in your food. And Dr. Peter Glidden knows this.
Longevity's organic plant-derived liquid minerals. This mineral supplement, which contains 77 plant-derived organic, certified organic minerals, in a colloidal state, saturated, concentrated just below the saturation index, is unrivaled in the field of medical nutrition, the field of nutrition, period. There's no other company that has a product that even comes close to this, and this is a big deal.
Order your liquid colloidal minerals from Longevity today by calling 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Or on the web at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30%, while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
The food storage industry leader has done it again. Introducing FDG clubs and survival bucks from the Freeze Dry Guy. For over 39 years, the Freeze Dry Guy has served various government agencies and the private sector with the finest in storable foods and emergency rations. If you've wanted to build emergency food supplies but couldn't afford it, now you can. Go to freezedryguy.com, click on products, and look for the Freeze Dry Guy clubs to pay as you go. Now you can build food storage without going into debt. Choose from a payment range of $95 to $450 per month. Our clubs work with everyone's budget. Plus, when you join Freeze Dry Guy clubs, you'll get additional rewards. For example, this month, get 10% back in survival bucks on all purchases in the Freeze Dry Guy product line, plus free shipping within the lower 48 states on any order amount. Hurry, go to freezedryguy.com or call 866-404-3663. That's freezedryguy.com or call 866-404-3663. The Freeze Dry Guy, the best you can buy.
In this unpredictable world, disaster can strike anyone. That's why an essential part of any emergency survival plan must be stove in a can. When power goes out and gas lines are down, the portable, safe, easy-to-use stove in a can cooks food up to 4 hours and boils water in as little as 5 minutes. Stove in a can comes with everything you need. The stove, fuel, even waterproof matches, all in a compact, durable, heavy-duty container. Plus, the all-natural, non-explosive, 100% waterproof fuel source can be stored indefinitely. Say goodbye to the hassle and danger of propane, lighter fluid, or gas. Stock up now and protect your family with Stove in a Can, starting out at $29.99. Special bundle offers now available with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Order yours today at stoveinacan.com. That's stoveinacan.com.
Like the fella said, you don't know what you don't know, and there's a lot of things that we just don't know we don't know, and there's a lot of things that we've forgotten or haven't been taught. And inside of the realm of information that's in the I don't know, I didn't even know it zone is this whole thing about minerals and the relationship between plant-derived minerals and wood ash, right? Throughout human history until the electrical age, human beings cooked and heated with wood, and then they took the wood ash and threw the gray ash into their gardens and took the white potash, because the part of the ash that was directly underneath the pot on the stove had the least amount of carbon in it, because that was the hottest part of the fire. The heat from the fire would radiate up, hit the bottom of the cooking kettle, radiate back down, and that, the heat that was right in the middle of the fire pit underneath the fire was the hottest part of the fire, and that burned all the carbon away. So the ash that was directly underneath the pot was bone white. That's where the term potash came from. So people would put potash in their food as culinary ash. They'd put it in their bread. They'd put it in their soup. They'd put it in their stews, right? And they'd put the gray ash on the periphery of the fire in their gardens. And so back in the day, people were getting multiple plant-derived colloidal mineral supplements just from putting the wood ash in their gardens and in their food. But when the electrical revolution came along, we stopped doing this. This is one of the reasons why the evolution of chronic disease has really skyrocketed, in the 19th and the 20th centuries. Now, they had other problems in the 1900s and the 1800s, cholera and shortened lifespans, because they really didn't have the whole public sewage thing together. And they certainly didn't have their vitamins or amino acid needs met. And so there were a number of nutrient deficiency diseases back then. But generally speaking, the people didn't get the amount of arthritis and osteoporosis and chronic degenerative diseases that we get now. These are all modern diseases. And, historians link this modern disease to pollution or to processed foods, and they've completely missed it. The reason that this is happening is not because of pollution. It's not because of processed foods. It's not because of fluoride in the water. It's not because of mercury in our dental amalgams or in the vaccinations. It's because we stopped putting minerals into our food. We stopped putting plant wood ash into the food. We stopped it. It's an unintended consequence, right? It's all of a sudden like ripping somebody's, vitamin and nutritional supplements away from them. Well, guess what? When that tank isn't filled, when your nutritional tank isn't filled, especially your mineral tank, your body is going to start to break down. Your body is going to start to suffer, and then you're going to get sick. So, look, this is why when you take the longevity plant-derived liquid minerals, and they've got three forms of it. It's plant-derived minerals. It's unflavored. It's just the bottle of the minerals, very, very concentrated. They also have it flavored with a little cherry juice, a little apple juice to kind of get away from that really astringent metallic taste that's in just the plain liquid plant minerals. So they sweeten it up, brighten it up a little bit with cherry or apple juice. It's the same stuff, the same minerals, just it's with a little extra stuff added for flavor. And they also have the liquid minerals that they've sucked all the water out of and made freeze-dried capsules. And that's why there are 64 capsules in one bottle, which is a curious amount of capsules, because it came from two 32-ounce bottles, right? 32 ounces times 2 is 64. When you withdraw, there's 64 ounces, 64 doses of minerals in there. So when you suck all the water out, guess what? You have 64 doses of plant-derived minerals per one bottle. Pretty tricky how they did that. So there are three ways that you can get plant-derived colloidal minerals in extremely saturated concentrations into your body. Now, the plant-derived minerals is $19 a bottle. The cherry mints, it's called cherry mints, which is the cherry flavor. That's $20 a bottle. And the plant-derived minerals in the freeze-dried form, I don't know how much that is. I think that's $45 a bottle, but that's like getting 2 bottles of the other stuff, right? Because it's 64 capsules. So really, one of the most important things that anybody can do for their health, and certainly one of the things that you can do to convince yourself that I'm correct, because, right, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, is call up your longevity representative and order a bottle of the plant-derived minerals and take it. Check it out for yourself. See how it makes you feel, because once you start to fill up your mineral tank, everything changes. Their switches will turn on in your body that have been off for decades. Your energy improves, your sleep improves, your mood improves, your appetite improves, everything brightens up, because for the first time probably in your entire life, your mineral tank has been filled, and that is a game changer. If you're listening to this podcast and you want to know how to get that supplement, give my associates a call, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. And to talk to me today, that number, 866-582-9933. Don't touch that dial.
The worst drought in 50 years continues, and the first 6 months of 2012 marks the hottest half year on record. 78% of the Midwest Corn Belt is in drought conditions. Not only corn, but soy, alfalfa, fruits, vegetables, and wheat are all impacted, raising prices. The cost to feed livestock is forcing farmers and ranchers out of business, blowing up your food prices. The only strategy to counter this is to freeze your food cost at today's prices by getting your own supply of foods from eFoods Direct now. As the price of raw ingredients increases, eFoods will have to raise prices too. Now is the time to get your supply. I recently increased my supply from eFoods Direct because we have all known this was coming. You know about their delicious long-term storable foods. The fact is, you can eat it any time to save money today. And because it stores for 25 years, you're locking in today's prices and avoiding the rising food cost. Don't wait. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
America, land of the free. But how free can you be, really, when internet viruses and malware can attack your computer? Sure, you have antivirus protection, but it's not free, is it? Until now. Now, ZoneAlarm offers free antivirus protection. And independent studies show that ZoneAlarm provides better malware protection than even Norton and McAfee. And they're not free, are they? Declare your freedom and go to getbetterforfree.com. That's getbetterforfree.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, thanks to Dan Pilla, you can get the tax help you need to end your tax nightmare.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce or eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. With the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
What do you do when your propane runs out and you don't have a large amount of wood for cooking? That's when you need a Grover rocket stove from StockStorage.com. The Grover rocket stove starts easily with any combustible material like junk mail, small twigs, leaves, weeds, or dry sagebrush. Then just add a small amount of kindling wood and you'll be cooking entire meals in minutes. Grover rocket stoves are made right here in the USA and are built to last a lifetime using heavy-duty thick-gauge steel and are painted with high-temp paint to withstand heat. Go to StockStorage.com and see 3 great Grover rocket stoves, stainless steel, heavy duty, or our original Grover rocket stove for only $135 and get free shipping to the lower 48. For phone orders, call 801-361-6984 or go to StockStorage.com. That's 801-361-6984 or StockStorage.com. The original Grover rocket stove minimal wood use cooking stoves, available exclusively from StockStorage.com.
Here it is, another election year. And here you are again wishing you knew more about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the other amendments, and the Declaration of Independence. But who has the time to study? Wouldn't it be nice if you could simply listen to them? And wouldn't it be great if they came packaged with an index? Yep, an index that lets you go to any part of the founding documents just by punching in a track number on your computer or CD player. What exactly is the Ninth Amendment? Track 10, play. It's that simple. The Founding Documents Collection on audio CD. To get yours now, just go to Amazon.com and type in Founding Documents Collection, CD. For just $19.95 and $3.99 shipping and handling, you'll have the firepower you need to argue from the ultimate facts that form our nation's foundation. Want to be a hero? Get one for you and give another to your local school for Constitution Day. Go to Amazon.com now and type in Founding Documents Collection, CD.
Take your minerals, ladies and gentlemen. You need them. You don't know what you're missing, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Take it from me. Give my associates a call, 855-347-3696, and get yours today. All right, we're going to go right to the phones now. We're going to talk to Herb first. He has a question about protein. Herb, thanks for calling. You're live with Dr. Glidden.
Yes, sir, Dr. Glidden. I was just trying to find out what would be a good protein supplement to take.
Well, the best source of protein is the chicken egg. And in the world of nutrition, just kind of straight, conservative, old-fashioned dietetics, like if you go to the nutritionist at the hospital, they have all of these comparison tables. And the protein that all other proteins are compared to is the chicken egg. So unless you're allergic to eggs, one of the least expensive, best ways to get protein into your body is by eating a bunch of eggs every day. And you get a 2-for-1 with the chicken egg, because when you eat a chicken egg, you also get the cholesterol that's in the yolk. And cholesterol is extremely important for human health. And one of these days I'm going to give on this radio show, I'm going to talk for 2 or 3 days about cholesterol. And I have a webinar about this, a 1 hour long webinar available on my website about the myths of cholesterol. So my recommendation is, eat 3, 4, 5, 6 chicken eggs a day. Now, if you can't do that or you don't want to do that, then you can get a protein powder. Longevity has a protein powder. It's made by the Slender FX. If you just look up Slender FX in the Longevity catalog, they have a meal replacement plan, and part of that plan is a nutritional powder that's loaded with protein. The goal for protein consumption in an average human is about 60 grams of protein a day, 60 grams of protein a day. The easiest way to do that is with a chicken egg. If you want to add a protein powder, then you can just get the Slender FX stuff and life is good. Now, if you're going to cook an egg or if you're going to eat an egg, we recommend that you soft scramble it in butter. So you put some butter in a pan, crack the egg open, and scramble it up. But you want to not cook it so much that the egg gets hard or rubbery like an omelet. You want to have the egg still be a little moist. That way you don't degrade the cholesterol. So soft scrambled in butter, soft boiled, or poached really is the best way to eat a chicken egg. If you're going to hard boil the chicken egg, make sure that there's not a green ring around the yolk, nor that the yolk itself has turned green, because when either of those two things happen, the cholesterol has become degraded. So if you're going to eat a hard-boiled egg, cut it in half first and check out the yolk. If the yolk is nice and bright yellow, then go ahead and eat it. If the yolk has turned green, you're just wasting calories. You can also eat raw eggs, like Rocky. But if you put raw eggs into a smoothie or into a health drink, you need to be sure that you are eating or supplementing your diet with B like baby vitamins, because your body needs B vitamins in order to metabolize a raw chicken egg, okay? So there's a lot of ways around that. Skin that cat. You can get the Slender FX meal replacement powder, and have that every day. You can have it 2-3 times a week. You can change it up. Rice and beans are another really great way to get proteins. Rice and beans together in a meal make a perfect protein. And really, in order to have optimal immune health, we need lots of protein, because your immune system is made from protein. That's one of the reasons why chicken soup is such a good thing to eat when you're sick, either with a cold or a flu. Did that answer your question, Herb?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Dr. Glidden. Thanks a lot.
All right. Hey, thanks for calling. Call anytime. Jeff is up next. Jeff has a question about low blood pressure. Jeff, thanks for calling. You are live with Dr. Glidden.
Hi, Dr. Glidden.
What's going on, Jeff?
Appreciate everything you do, and between you and Dr. Wallach and all those books, because, I certainly don't know what I don't know, so I appreciate everything.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm calling about my mom. She's in her mid to late 60s. She's about 5'2", 175, and she has low blood pressure, probably about 92, or I think it was 90 over 54. Her resting heart rate is 96. She has a lot of exhaustion to the point to where she doesn't even feel like doing anything. She's dizzy when she stands up. She's cut out gluten in her diet, and she's on the Healthy Start Pack for about 2 months with the woman's hormone balance, because back in her 30s she had a hysterectomy and her gallbladder removed. She's on the digestive enzymes, and I think that's about it.
Okay, so how much of the white liquid calcium is she taking?
Okay, the white liquid, I know that she doubled up on that, actually.
Yeah. Well, do you know how much?
Well, let's see. She's going through about 2 bottles a month.
Okay, so that's very good. What is she, about 250, 200 pounds?
Yeah, she's 175.
Yeah, okay. So the only time that medical nutrition doesn't work is if you're not taking enough or you're not absorbing what you're taking. So, at 175 pounds, 1 ounce of the white liquid calcium twice a day is the goal. And the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the goal is 2 scoops in 16 ounces, or 32 ounces would be better if she's had her gallbladder removed. 2 scoops in 32 ounces of water twice a day for a total of 4 scoops a day. Is she doing that much of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine?
she cut back because she said that she was having a hard time with the taste. So she was trying to experiment with putting it like in orange juice or something just so she can get by the taste.
Yeah, okay, so if some people don't like the taste, I'm one of them. But, and really it's about 90% of the people that I talk to love the way that stuff tastes. Isn't that funny? It's just like the fella said, one man's ceiling is another woman's floor, right? Everybody's different. So really, if the taste becomes prohibitive, then you can just switch it out to another supplement. So you could switch it out to the Tropical Plus. You could switch it out to the Rebound FX. You could give the Rebound FX powder a try. That tastes really, I think that's the best tasting supplement that Youngevity makes. Or you could get a bottle of the Cherry Mints, which is the liquid plant minerals with cherry flavor, and mix that into the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. One way that a creative mother came up with to get this Beyond Tangy Tangerine, because it really is a fantastic supplement. I mean, all things considered, if people aren't enjoying the taste of it, I tell them just to suck it up and suck it down, because it's medicine. It's not supposed to taste good, but really it doesn't taste that bad. But I had a creative mother. She made popsicles out of it, right? So she'd dilute the Beyond Tangy Tangerine appropriately with warm water, because it absorbs, that the crystals dissolve a little bit better in warm water. And then she'd add a little bit of juice, a little bit of water, a little bit of cherry mints, and then she'd put them in the little popsicle molds and freeze them and just give them to the kids to suck on all day long, and hey, life is good. So really, low blood pressure from our point of view is the same thing that causes high blood pressure. Specifically, it's not enough calcium and not enough magnesium. And now, because of the lack of the gallbladder, and whenever somebody has a gallbladder issue, they also have a liver issue. And 5 will get you 10, that the potential of their digestive tract in order to absorb nutrients has been compromised by decades of all the wrong foods. So she's gluten-free, right? And she's been gluten-free for a couple weeks. Ooh, I think we lost him. Okay.
No? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Good. So, yeah, she's been gluten-free for how long?
For about a couple weeks now, but I think every once in a while she kind of backslides, because I talk to her and I get the information out of it, and she tells me that something that she ate, and I say, because she just told me last night she had some brownies. I said, that's got gluten in it, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So, now, you can get gluten-free brownies, but you really got to hunt for that, right?
Right.
I had some gluten-free brownies last week with vanilla ice cream. Man, oh man, that was just a little bundle of joy right there, man.
Absolutely.
So you can do it, but you have to hunt for it. So another option for her, because in addition to the calcium, which she's getting enough of, she's going to need the vitamins, especially the B vitamins, in order to round this out. So you might want to just switch it up from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine to the Ultimate Daily. And it's not called the Ultimate Daily. It's called the Anti-Aging Daily Premium Pack. The Anti-Aging Daily Premium Pack comes with 30 individually sealed cellophane wrappers, and they've got vitamins, minerals, and essential fatty acids, and they're all in pill form. So, if you got her 2 Anti-Aging Daily Premium Packs a month, and gave her 2 of the contents of the cellophane wrappers a month, that would give her her vitamins and her minerals and her essential fatty acids. And in addition to that, all you would have to give her would be the liquid calcium. Now, you might want to, as an experiment, for 7 days, double the amount of calcium that she's taking now. So give her 1 ounce of the calcium 4 times a day. Give her 1 ounce of the calcium 4 times a day, and give it to her in a little bit of orange juice each time. 1 ounce of the calcium 4 times a day in a little bit of orange juice each time for 7 days, and see if that increases her blood pressure and makes her feel a little bit better. Because sometimes with chronic debilitating issues like this, especially in older people, especially if she's only been gluten-free for a couple of weeks, she might be swallowing 2 ounces of the liquid calcium now, but she might only be absorbing a half an ounce of it because her digestive tract is just shot, right? So when we go way up in the dose, then she's going to approximate, serendipitously, a normal dose by way of absorption. So that's what I would do right now. I would switch it out to the anti-aging daily premium pack, replace the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and just, give her 4 ounces of the OsteoFX now, or the Cal-Toddy. Is she taking the OsteoFX?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That would be better for her than the Cal-Toddy. So give her 1 ounce of the OsteoFX Plus in a little bit of orange juice 4 times a day for 7 days as a little experiment, and see if that makes her feel better. That's what I'm going to recommend.
Okay, can I ask another question?
Yeah, shoot.
Okay. How long does it take to get back to a healthy state once you've been eating gluten for decades and you find out you're gluten intolerant? What's usually the turnaround time for your digestive tract to get back to a point to where it is absorbing everything correctly?
Well, nobody knows, and that's an excellent question. There's just way too many variables to consider, but I'll tell you what I was taught in naturopathic school. The old-time naturopathic doctors and the homeopaths were of the opinion that once you get on the right track with a positive therapeutic, then it takes approximately 1 month for every year that you've had the problem to get on the other side of it. So if you've had the problem for 40 years, it's going to take 40 months. But that's what I was taught in medical school. Since I've been working with Dr. Wallach and using Dr. Wallach's therapeutics and using the Longevity family of nutritional supplements, I've seen people recover. I've seen patients with high blood pressure. They've had high blood pressure for 30, 40 years. The blood pressure normalizes in 2 weeks. I've seen people with type 2 diabetes for 3 decades, and it goes away in 4 weeks. I've seen bone-on-bone arthritis resolve that a person's had for 10 years. I've seen it resolve in 3 months. So, who knows? I don't know. But here's the deal. A better question is, I need to stop eating this stuff because I don't really care how long it's going to take me to recover. But what I do care about is if I keep doing all the wrong stuff, I'm going to get worse. So really, you've got nothing to lose here. But, if you want to keep a weather eye to that storm, I'd say about 1 month for every year that you've had the problem, and then cut that in half with the vitamins and minerals. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
Despite what medical experts tell you, it's just not possible to get all the nutrients your body needs from food. Minerals are essential for good health, but not all soils contain these nutrients, so they won't be in your food. And Dr. Peter Glidden knows this.
Longevity's organic plant-derived liquid minerals. This mineral supplement, which contains 77 plant-derived organic, certified organic minerals, in a colloidal state, saturated, concentrated just below the saturation index, is unrivaled in the field of medical nutrition, the field of nutrition, period. There's no other company that has a product that even comes close to this, and this is a big deal.
Order your liquid colloidal minerals from Longevity today by calling 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Or on the web at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com.
That's the sound of your door being kicked in by an intruder with a single kick. That's the sound of the same door now protected by the Door Sentinel at mysafedoor.com. Go to mysafedoor.com right now and watch the amazing video. At mysafedoor.com, you'll learn how to turn your home into a fortress with the Door Sentinel. 16 kicks later, and the Door Sentinel is still holding strong. mysafedoor.com. That's mysafedoor.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
We've all heard the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. A wise saying for sure. Now apply that wisdom to nutrition. Don't judge milk by the animal. Camel milk, the best kept health secret ever. See for yourself at camelmilkforsale.com. and look for the Summer Camel Milk Special. Loaded with health benefits far superior to other milk, camel milk has antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-tumor properties, is rich in B vitamins, and is 3 times higher in vitamin C than cow's milk. 10 times higher in iron. Plus, it contains 52 units of insulin-like proteins per liter, effectively lowering blood sugar levels. Many of our members testified that drinking camel milk reversed diabetes and greatly improved autism. Camel milk comes fresh or frozen from your trusted local family farm, shipped on dry ice to preserve freshness. Go to camelmilkforsale.com now and look under products and pricing for the summer special with free bonus pints. That's camelmilkforsale.com.
Every day, nearly 3,000 families enter into foreclosure and face losing their home. If you're currently behind on your mortgage, you can still avoid foreclosure. You can save your home, but you need to act now. We're Allied State Foreclosure Services. We're experts in saving homes from foreclosure. With just one phone call to us, you can stop the foreclosure process, lower your monthly mortgage payments, and save your home. Call now. The call is free with no obligation. 1-800-597-8843. Call us if you've been threatened with foreclosure, denied loan modification, or missed a payment on your mortgage. If you've been a victim of a predatory loan or are upside down on your mortgage. Even if you've lost your job and you're worried about losing your home, don't wait. Call us now and let us help you save your home. You've worked hard to build a life with your family. Let us help you keep your home. Call now before it's too late. 1-800-597-8843. 1-800-597-8843. 1-800-597-8843.
Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden talking to you about all things holistic today and every weekday from 4 to 5 Central Time right here on the Genesis Communication Network. Was on the Alex Jones show last Friday. Had a great time with Alex. He's really helped us out a lot. He has a gigantic megaphone, and that's exactly what we're doing here. We are populating our message of health recovery through medical nutrition as far and as wide as we possibly can. Why? Because your access to information has been limited by the pharmaceutical industry. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is just a fact. As a licensed naturopathic physician in the city of Seattle, I can deliver babies, perform minor surgery, prescribe drugs, order any diagnostic test I want, legally call myself a physician, and it's all covered by insurance. If I was to do the same thing in 36 other states in the United States that I did in Seattle, after 8 years of medical school, by the way, I would be thrown in jail and fined thousands of dollars for practicing medicine without a license, because we don't have a free medical market here, and we never have. Medicine since 1910 in the United States has been completely monopolized and controlled and co-opted by the MDs and the pharmaceutical companies. It's just that simple. My colleague Dr. Wallach was working on a 12-year research project, the result of which is now in the Smithsonian Institution. That research project cost $25 million. Dr. Wallach did 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries and histopathologies over the course of 12 years. It formed the basis. That research, which is now in the Smithsonian, formed the basis of all the medical nutrition that we apply today. In one of the stints that Dr. Wallach was working at while he was doing this 12-year research project was at Emory University's Yerkes Primate Research Center in Atlanta, Georgia. While Dr. Wallach was there, he proved that cystic fibrosis was caused by a nutrient deficiency in the pregnant mother. It wasn't genetic. It was damage to the chromosome caused by not enough of the mineral selenium. It was a selenium deficiency disease. It was not genetic. Number one. And number two, that it could happen across species lines, could happen in monkeys. Before Wallach's research, they thought that cystic fibrosis could only happen in humans, but he proved it could cross species lines, and he also proved that it was a selenium deficiency in the blood of the pregnant mother that tipped the scales. And when he revealed his research, Yerkes Primate Research Center fired him. And the National Institute of Health blackballed him in every major teaching hospital or teaching medical university in the United States. They fired him for discovering the cause and the cure for cystic fibrosis. They fired him. Now, this is how much power they have. They don't want you to know this. You know, if Yerkes Primate Research Center had, discovered the cure for cystic fibrosis, their research money dries up. And by the way, there's no money in selenium because it's a naturally occurring substance, and you cannot patent a naturally occurring substance. So, guess what? They're going to suppress and stymie the research, and that's exactly what they did. 30 years later, nobody knows this. By the way, Dr. Wallach was just recently awarded the Klaus Schwartz Commemorative Medal for his work with trace mineral research, in this case selenium, just this last November. Very prestigious international scientific award awarded for the work that Wallach did 30 years ago that has virtually gone unnoticed, because medicine in the United States is a for-profit industry. So nobody knows what we know. Nobody knows the depth and breadth of our knowledge base when it comes to the tackling the root causes of chronic diseases. They're all nutrient deficiency diseases. Your MD doesn't know this. Nobody knows this. Nobody working at your hospital knows this. No medical professional besides us know this, and everybody needs to know this. But because the front door is guarded by the pharmaceutical industry, we're going through the back door. We're building a grassroots coalition of the informed. That's why Youngevity exists. Ladies and gentlemen, join our cause. Join our merry band of men and women and help us to populate this message of health recovery through medical nutrition. Check it out on the Youngevity tab at fireyourmdnow.com, or better yet, check out my live webinar tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time. Just log in, go to the front page at fireyourmdnow.com, click the login button, and then enter as a guest. You're going to love it. I look forward to seeing you in the future, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, we're talking about vitamins. It's all about vitamins tomorrow. I'll see you then.
Have you heard? Now there's a male enhancement formula clinically tested to work on demand, and you're invited to try it risk-free. TestoCharge is guaranteed to give you the edge you need when you need it. All natural TestoCharge has ingredients shown to increase libido and boost performance. TestoCharge is safe and it works. With TestoCharge, you'll experience an increase in romantic desire, so you'll be ready when the time comes. And with TestoCharge, you'll get an extra boost in performance, giving you both a night you'll never forget. See why TestoCharge is being called the natural alternative every man should know about. Get your risk-free trial, but hurry. This offer is only for a limited time. Just call 1-800-764-7415. That's 1-800-764-7415. TestoCharge is the natural male enhancement product you've been waiting for. Just call 1-800-764-7415. That's 1-800-764-7415.
Alex Jones here with a great way to beat the blackouts, get off the grid, and generate your own supply of electrical power. Folks, with what's been going on in this country, I don't have to tell you about the power grid and just how vulnerable it is. That's in the mainstream news every day. Millions of people have lost their power in the last few weeks because of dangerous storms and killer heat that's pushing the grid beyond its capacity. I've always said that every family needs to be ready for blackouts. And if you don't have a backup system in place, I've got a great opportunity for you. Right now, our good friends at Solutions from Science are offering huge savings on their best-selling Power Hub unit. In fact, I think it's the best deal I've ever seen them make. It's literally thousands of dollars in savings. Remember, these backup systems don't need gas because they're solar-powered. That means there's no dangerous fumes and no noise. InfoWars listeners can get all the details at beattheblackouts.com. That's beattheblackouts.com.